OneWrestling.com. This is Bill Apter. Got a guest in Apter's Alley. Only the second person ever to be down here in Apter's Alley is a special guest. And the first person, if you remember, was Greg Oliver, the author. And today I've got another, well, not really an author, but the subject of a book called Doing the Job. And we're going to talk about this book that was written by Mr. Frederick Chernoff. And we're going to tell you who the Chernoffs are and what this book is all about. But I want to welcome my guest, Mr. Josh Harris.
Happy to be here. Thank you so much for having
now
me.
Josh, beside being for many, many years in the wrestling business, and what a story that is. Josh is also an entertainer. You can find him on Facebook. And what's your Twitter handle?
Twitter's I am Josh Harris.
Okay.
And
Facebook,
I am Josh Harris.
He is. I'm not. He is.
I am.
Okay.
And Facebook.com/JoshHarris247.
Okay, so here's the story. 18 years ago, when Pro Wrestling Illustrated magazine, the company that I worked for, was sold to a publisher, it went from Long Island to Pennsylvania. I moved into this great neighborhood in Pennsylvania, and these kids came over to me and said, "Aren't you the wrestling guy, aren't you?" They had heard that I was moving in through someone who helped us find this neighborhood. And we became like uncle and nephews. And one of those people was Fred Chernoff. The other one was the man who has professionally become known as Josh Harris.
Yep.
But what impressed me most about this whole thing is not only were they wrestling fans, but when they became teenagers, they decided to start a federation, the Teenage Wrestling Federation. And I even worked for them at times, and they put on professional shows all around Pennsylvania. So, and now you've embarked on a music career.
Yes.
You've been in the wrestling business. You still are at times.
In and around, yeah.
You've met everybody you've always wanted to meet in the wrestling business.
I did.
And now you are the subject of a book called Doing the Job. So tell us briefly, like a synopsis of this book. Tell everybody out in Apter's Alley.
Well, the book, it is kind of an interesting story, I think. I mean, I'm a little bit biased with it, but I think it's an interesting story. And one of the things that's neat about the book is it's from my brother Fred's point of view about our time in and around the wrestling business.
Yeah.
But so much of it near the end kind of starts to follow. It's almost his point of view as told to him by me.
Yeah.
It gets a little, but it's a lot of my time from running my own, from the Teenage Wrestling Foundation.
At what age? What age did you start?
I was 15 with the
Wow.
Teenage Wrestling Foundation.
Foundation, not Federation. I was wrong. Give myself an eye gouge.
It's all right. We were in the newspaper once, and they called it different things 3 times.
Okay.
In the same.
As long
paper.
as it was complimentary.
Yeah. So it was all good. And then from there to then doing the more when we actually became professional and doing the TWF, the Wrestling Federation. There you are.
Yeah. There's a picture of the general manager, Kamish.
What were you?
Wonderful
The liaison to the
talent
board or something? Yeah, I don't know.
Yes.
But yeah, and then it takes it all the way to my career, my time in OVW when it was still developmental. Actually, at the end of it being a
That's
developmental
Ohio Valley Wrestling, just in case you're a novice and you don't know.
And they were the developmental territory for a number of years with the WWE. And I happened to be there a handful of months before WWE left and a couple of months after. So it's kind of an interesting part of that story. And I got to train under Al Snow and Nick Dinsmore. So I have some fun stories with
Eugene. Yes,
Eugene,
yep. So there's great stories about you going from teenage wrestling, so to say, and not backyard. We're not talking about backyard.
Definitely not backyard.
Teenage wrestling into being trained by Al Snow and Eugene, and really learning how to go through the initiation of. Is the Bubba Ray story in here?
It is. It is. Yep.
There is an incredible story in here about Bubba Ray Dudley, who could have been Bully Ray Dudley. How many years ago are we talking about?
That was summer of '99.
When you talk about somebody slapping somebody into a reality check, it is in this book, and it's got to be one of the most compelling and frightening moments in anybody's life because I was there. I was there.
It was something.
So if you buy the book just for that one reason, that's the reason you should buy it. Now, where can people go to buy Doing the Job?
Well, they can get the e-version, the Kindle version, and the hardback copy, or I guess it's paperback, but the
hardcore copy.
The hardcore copy
Yes.
you can get at Amazon.com. Or you can go to, I have it on the back of my shirt, but I'll pull something
stand up.
if I
stand
turn
up.
around.
No, go.
Oh, there. On the back.
Yeah,
you
let's.
can see it all.
We don't
Okay.
pull punches. Okay.
Well, yeah,
Everything's fine.
we've got Facebook.com/doingthejobbook, and you can go to follow on Twitter at doingthejobbook. And sometimes we've had like a live Twitter thing going on during Raw. So when somebody who's in the book is on Raw, we'll talk about like Wade Barrett, who is a good friend of mine down there, Drew McIntyre.
I'm gonna tell you people a story because, as you know, I know everybody in the pro wrestling business. But sometimes when a new guy comes in, I've got to introduce myself. And I remember when Wade Barrett came into the WWE, and I said, "Oh, hi, I'm Bill Apter." "Oh, Bill Apter, yes, yes." He says, "Well, I'm a personal friend of Josh Harris." And I was like, unbelievable. I knew you, so I was able to use your name to get to know Wade Barrett.
I'm glad that I hope that helped you out a little bit.
And Josh and his brother Fred used to come down to my basement. We used to watch the pay-per-views together. So very storied. How old are you now?
I'm 29.
29. So a very storied career for someone from a little kid to 29 in the wrestling business. The book is Doing the Job. By the way, what is this?
Yeah, I was just carrying this with me.
Same color as your shirt.
Yeah, it's not actually from Doing the Job.
What is it?
It is a Rock and Roll Express bandana.
Look at, oh, wait a minute. I happen to have one here.
Well, yours
Look
is
at-
red, mine's black. I don't know, maybe we can trade
You want to
this.
switch? Okay.
Yeah, let's switch
Okay.
that out.
So-
Oh, that's much better.
When he came down here today, he had this, and I've got one here. If you want to get, this has nothing to do with your book.
Absolutely nothing to do.
But shameless plug, if you want to get a Rock and Roll Express bandana, look up Robert Gibson from the Rock and Roll Express on Facebook, and he'll talk to you too.
Robert
Great
Gibson
guy.
was actually down in OVW when I got down there.
Oh, was he? So this does
we can
tie in.
Turn it right back to the book.
Yeah, it does tie in.
Yeah.
What kind of interaction did you have with him?
I think I walked past him.
Oh, okay,
boy.
that was good.
Yeah, no,
He's a great guy.
He was very nice. I met him real briefly.
He's also
He was
one
on
of the
his way
best joke tellers in the universe. All right, Josh, thank you so much for
Thank you for
coming down
having
to
me.
Apter's Alley, and it was a pleasure. And
Honored
as
to
we
be here.
always say, we'll see you at the matches. And don't forget, Doing the Job. Go to Amazon. It's a great read. I wonder if Bully Ray is still mad at you.
Find out if you show him the book.
Yeah, really.